Are you going ahead and suing the BBC?
Well, I guess I have to. You know, why not? Because they defrauded the public, and they've admitted it, and their top echelon.
Director General and the CEO
This
both
is
resigned.
within one of our great allies. You know, this is supposedly our great ally, BBC. The government has a chunk of that one, I guess. But that's a pretty sad event. They actually changed my January 6th speech, which was a beautiful speech, which was a very calming speech, and they made it sound radical. And they actually changed it. What they did was rather incredible. They're showing me the results later on, the results of what they did, how they butchered it up. But it was very dishonest, and the head man quit, and a lot of the other people
We're actually
quit.
going to play it right now.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here, we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women, and we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them.
But tonight you are saying to our viewers that you will go forward and file a defamation lawsuit against the BBC.
Well, I think I have an obligation to do it because you
gotta say about media, you can't trust every source, especially a source that's not from America. Trump is thinking about or maybe suing the BBC for that botch speech or the botch situation to make it look like he's a radical. This is what the problem is with a lot of media that's not from America. They try to paint our president to be somebody that he is not. And they got caught red-handed. And the thing is about this, media is very, very controlling, and it can sway you either left or right. That's what the power of media, right? But when we have somebody or a company from out of this country trying to make our president look a certain way, they got bad intentions. And we as a people, we got to understand and stop believing a lot of these things from these outside sources that'll do anything to make us look bad. They're supposed to be our allies. But the funny thing is, though, UK, they want our money, they want our military, they want our help, but then they can't control their media. So that's what we have to do. And now you have to understand is, ever since this happened, you know, Trump gonna find stuff out, man. He don't play around with the media. He understands how powerful the media is. He understands that if people trying to talk mess and he know they wrong, he coming after them. So already, man, they already done had a leadership shakeup at the BBC. Let's see, the BBC Director General Tim Davie and News Chief Deborah Turness both resigned amid the scandal. They resigned because they knew what they did. You don't think the top people knew? You don't think that they got paid to do something to make our president look bad? But as an American, as a patriot, you got to really think about this and say, that ain't right. You can't let outside influence us as a people about our president. Yeah, you can say what you want to say. You can say this about him, that about him. Hey, that's your opinion. Hopefully you got some proof about that. But we can't let outside media sources ruin our country. Who knows what that speech and how many people it influenced? They on YouTube just like everybody else. They could be accessed easily. It's not like it's just being shown in the UK. It's being shown all over the world. So we have to understand the power of media. They say he's thinking about suing for at least $1 billion. And he gonna get it. The thing about President Trump, he remembers everybody that was talking shit, that was dragging his name through the mud. The 4 years that Biden was in office, he was taking notes and taking names. Because I don't think a lot of people thought he was going to come back. They thought he was just going to go away. And now he came back better than ever. He's going after everybody. He's not playing with anybody. You talk bad about him, I'm coming. If you make fake news about me, I'm coming. But as a person that's in the United States, don't you want a president that's not fucking around? Excuse my language. Don't you want that? Don't you want somebody that's like, I'm coming after you? So this man's probably made a couple of billion easily just off of lawsuits because people aren't just bowing down. They're just saying, hey, man, take my money. I don't want no problems. But yeah, we got to understand that the media is a powerful source. This is why you have to check your sources, check what's going on, because a lot of people have alternate motives or ulterior motives for America. They want us to look bad on the outside so they can get whatever they're trying to get from America. But how can you talk bad about our president but then want something from us in the future? That's what a lot of this has happened. What's happening is a lot of countries outside of America, it's like they throw the rock at the glass house, but then they move a hand away so you don't know who did it. But the thing about him, man, he catching it. And I know he done came up. I know he came up. They said BBC publicly apologized, saying the edit gave the impression that President Trump had made a direct call for violent action. Why would you even do that? Your job in media is to give the facts. I know we had a big thing about fake news and all of that, but people are not doing that no more. You can't. And like I said, he's catching everybody. Like what you trying to do, man? You trying to make him look bad for what? For your game. Because somebody paid you to do something stupid.
Get people, you can't allow people to do that. I couldn't allow 60 Minutes. You know, we settled that one for many millions of dollars, and I couldn't have allowed that to take place. They changed the answer that Kamala gave. They took out the entire answer and they put another answer in. The first answer was election defying. The second answer was not good, but it wasn't a disaster.
That's the thing about the media we have to watch out for is they'll make one candidate look amazing and they'll make another candidate look dumb. Then they make the other candidate or the person that they don't want in office. Usually when you have media talking about a certain candidate, it's because they fear that candidate. A lot of people fear Trump, and we see why, because he's not messing around. Now you got the UK politicians, and they weighing in, they're saying they need to be independent. BBC don't need to be going left or right. Just stay out of it. How about you just focus on the UK, BBC? How about you just focus on that? Because you know why everybody focuses on Trump? It's because they make money off of Trump by talking about Trump. So if you're going to talk about him, you better say good things. How much money has news channels and the media has made ever since Trump's been in office, the first term and the second term? He's the reason why people watch the news. Whether you like him or not, it doesn't matter. He's the reason why. So why mess up your moneymaker? Why continue to do these things that's not real? It makes no sense. It's idiotic. It's stupid. But my message to those independent or those non-independent, those big conglomerates outside of the U.S., just stay out of our business. Focus on your own country. Focus on your own things. But it's hard to do that because your country is not as exciting as our country, right? How about the BBC focus on the migrant crisis that they have and where their people are getting pushed out and everybody else is coming in because of the immigration that's happening in the UK? Why don't they cover that? But you rather cover our president, but you can't cover your own problems. That's the problem. Growing up in Long Beach, man, I've always said, stay out of everybody else's business. Focus on your own. And that's my message to the BBC. Stay out of American business and just focus on your own.